everyone and welcome to this video. In this video I will be continuing my Eevee cosplay and this is already part 3, so if you want to know why I am cosplaying Eevee and what my time schedule is, go ahead to the first part, which were the ears. And in this part I will be making a belt for not only the dress but also to hold up my tail, which is part 2. So yeah, go check them out. It doesn't need to be watched in a particular order. And I not only wanted to make the dress a little bit cuter, but also, as I said, to hold up the tail. So the only research I did was a little bit of videos on YouTube. So this is the first belt I am ever making and I'm very excited about it and I hope everything goes well. So yeah, let's get started. I hope you like the video. I already cut out all of the EVA foam pieces for the belt and I will spray them on with a glue spray, and also I will add some hot glue to make it extra secure. And once I put them on, I won't stack them just on top of each other, but I wanted to do halfway on top of each other, and then the next one is going to be under this for the halfway and one on top of this, so it is evenly stacked, and that way it is, I think, more secure. I was thinking how to attach the belt, and at first I was thinking of a normal belt buckle, but I don't know if that looks good or not because I don't really like it on the design of this dress and I don't think it is fitting to Eevee. So I thought I can attach the hooks, which I also use on my dresses, at the top of the zipper, so it is nice and closed, and those are pretty small, so I thought maybe I can do 2 or maybe 4 on the end. And well, I think that if I am going to do some hooks, I need a little bit bigger hooks, and I am very in doubt that they are going to come off very quickly, because of the size they are, because these are 12. This is size 12, I think. So yeah, because of the size, I don't think that is a very good idea. And then I thought, I recently bought some press studs and this thing to attach them onto the fabric or the EVA foam. And I thought maybe this is a good idea. And before I will put on the fabric onto the belt, then I first attach these, and yeah, then I can do, I think I will do 4, like 2 horizontally and then below them another 2. So I think that is what I will be doing, and I need to know the sizing of the belt because I made it a little bit bigger. This is the size for now, so it is pretty long already, but I thought I could better be cutting something off than needing to attach everything, so it doesn't go all the way through. And over here also, this is just one layer of EVA foam. So now it is 2mm EVA foam thick, and I let it dry. Well, I did it yesterday morning, and today is already a day later, so they had a whole day to dry and a whole night to dry. So I think these clips can come off, and I hope it is secure enough, so we will see. I measured the entire belt how long I wanted it to be. This is all the excess I have, And now I also measured the overlap on it because I measured my waist. But of course, that's not where you want to cut it, because if you cut it over there, then you don't have any room to attach it onto each other, or you want to have some clip-ons which you can see so the belt doesn't touch on both sides. But I have marked where it overlaps, and this entire piece is the overlap, and I wanted to do 4 little press-on studs. And I was thinking I can keep it like a rectangle or another shape. And at first I was thinking to do a normal rounded piece like you see on most belts. But then I thought I can make it even more fun. So I was thinking to cut out, like, it looks a little bit like Eevee's tail itself. So I think I will be doing that. I don't know how I will fix it with the fabric and if that is going to be fine or not, but I will figure everything out, and I think I will cut it out like the shape of Eevee's tail. I wanted to reinforce the back of the belt, which is obviously on my back. So this little piece I measured kinda, and these are the spaces which is in the middle of my back. So that is also the place where the tail is gonna hang, and that is why I wanted to reinforce it a bit, because I don't want the belt to be flopped out. I want it to be nice and secure on my waist, and that the tail isn't hanging off too much. So I cut this floral wire, and I will go and use the hot glue gun to, well, attach it. But I am, because it is a little bit wonky. As you can see, this part is a little bit more upwards, and I also don't want those pointy thingies to hurt me or destroy any of the fabric or the EVA foam. So I hope with the hot glue it will stay, and I hope the hot glue also will secure the pointy things. And then over this is going some fabric, and I at first thought, do I even need some fabric on the inside? Because I will be using fabric on the outside and then flop it in so it comes onto this, and then you have a little piece of EVA foam showing. But I think it is nicer to have the inside also nice and finished. So that is what I will be doing, and I will first hot glue this on, and then I will spray with the spray glue. I will spray on the fabric, and once that is all done, then I can continue on, I think, the press-on studs. If not, I will come back to you. And I hope the last thing I can do is the outer layer of the fabric. I secured it with the floral wire and a lot of hot glue. I was just going around it, and then I thought, well, there were pretty big gaps in between, so I just filled them a little bit more out with the glue. And also something I noticed, because those were individual pieces glued together, and so there were some lines which were sticking a bit open, so I also glued them shut. And let's see, over here is also such a piece, and it's on the other side as well. And this is the outside, but it is also going to be a little bit more rounded. So that is why it looks a bit different, because I kept them a little bit more open like this, so the glue can dry better instead of it being straight. So that is something I also did. And yeah, I think I am onto the fabric and the little press-on studs. And if that is all completed, I just need to embroider the pokedex number, and that is it. And then the belt is done. This is the belt as for what it is right now. And on this side, I have some press-on studs as well as over here. And this side is before this piece of fabric was glued on top of it. So yeah, you cannot see the outside, and I'm very glad about that. But on this one, this is the outside layer of the belt, and of course you won't be able to see this because the other piece of the belt is going on top of it. But it was very hard to get this on, so I had a little piece of fabric, and then I tried to trace how far apart they needed to be, because as you can see they are not very even. And also these are my first press-on sets ever, so yeah, they are a little bit a little bit wonky. So I made them onto another top of fabric, which is the same as this one, as to why you cannot really tell the difference. If you're looking up close, you can see the lines though. And I wanted to sew this on, but I needed to glue it on. So I really hope it is sturdy enough. I glued it with the same glue spray as I did with the rest of the fabric, but I am very afraid it isn't going to be sturdy enough. And also a little problem, I think it was this one. This stud was coming off yesterday and I glued it on again. So normally you have the little ring on the other side, but I couldn't do another ring because of course you cannot see it over here, and I don't want to take this fabric apart because this glue is very holding on. So yeah, I glued it on with the glue spray. I sprayed it on the stud itself, and I waited a whole night for it to dry, and just now I try to clip it a bit more on with that thing. So I hope it is going to be sturdy, and I really hope nothing is going to come off. And I do really want to test everything before it is time to wear the belt itself. So otherwise I actually do not really know what to do, because I tried to secure those little pieces, and I don't. Please focus on Luna. She's making a lot of noise. Well, it is early in the morning, so. But I wanted to secure those pieces. If you can focus, please. And I wanted to go through this piece of fabric and this piece of fabric, but not like through the EVA foam. So I wanted to whip it up. So I wanted to whip this up or something, but that really did not work. So I am going to leave it as this is my sewing room. You cannot see anything but the wall and me, but that's why the wall is a different color, so just if you were wondering why. I want to start out with the things I dislike the most, because then we can end the video with a positive thought. The belt itself wasn't that hard, but to put anything on the belt like the present sets, it was very hard, and they are still on there because I don't want to tear it apart. But I am not using it. I am using a different hook-like thing, and I had to sew it on by hand, which I never filmed. I don't know why, but yeah, so that was a little bit hard because the present says one part was onto a piece of fabric and that piece of fabric was glued onto the belt. So when I closed them and if I wanted to open them again, the piece of fabric was coming right off. So that's why I ended up using some hooks instead of the present studs. What I also did not film while doing, of course, was the embroidery part, and it was very fun to do. It was just a rectangular piece of fabric. I flipped the sides and I sewed across it so you don't have any raw edges, and that I glued onto the belt, and I am very happy how it turned out. I really love the detail of the embroidery, and I'm also very glad the tail fits. That is something I'm very glad about. It is not too tight, it is not too wide, and yeah, that is something you really need with a belt, that it stays on. So that's something I'm very happy about. And well, the last thing I wanted to say is a special thank you to Aliud Records for letting me use the stuff again, and I will put the website down below, so go check them out. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to subscribe. And remember, here we do it ourselves. And then I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!